Welcome, ladies
Oh,
and gentlemen.
oh, hello. Didn't see you there. Welcome, everybody, to another good evening of popcorn readings. Well, I was just perusing a volume myself about Knuckles the Echidna's many gastrointestinal issues and in excruciating detail. How you doing tonight, Michael?
I'm doing excellent. I am really excited about popcorn readings tonight. I got one of my new Takis mugs here, and the water tastes more delicious when it's in it. I'm just gonna be honest. No
That's
lies.
true. What's the best water you've ever tasted?
Well, I could tell you that I went to England and I went to the ancient city of Bath, and this
Mm-hmm.
was not the most delicious water I had, but it was from one of those taps from the ground, and it was supposed to be like this ancient spring water. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
it was the worst water I've ever had. It was supposed to be the freshest, but it tasted sulfury and plasticky. And anyways, I
That's
don't know if I
funny.
can determine the best water I've ever had. I like a Fiji.
Fiji's pretty
What about you?
good.
No sponsorship.
Well, it's funny. I can think of the worst water I've ever had as well, which is the lithium
Oh,
fountain
please.
in Ashland, Oregon.
Mm.
Everybody acts like it's a big deal. You got to try it. I was there
Mm-hmm.
for Shakespeare Fest, showing my cards a little here, and it smells bad when you walk up to it. It smells like sulfur. Um, and then you taste it, and it tastes like sulfur too.
And it tastes and it tastes like it smells. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's fucking gross. There's a picture of me for sure somewhere on Facebook where I'm like with my water with the water in my mouth. Um, Second worst would be the water that I had to drink at what was it? There's a science camp. I forget the name of it in the Santa Cruz Mountains where you can join the Banana Slug Club. Shout out to any members. Um, and it was really fun, but the water smelled like sulfur and tasted like shit, so that's a little different.
Oh, yeah.
But it was cold, which was nice. Uh, God, can you imagine using a drinking fountain in 2021?
I actually, now that you say about water, I remember like in middle school, the water fountain had such a horrible like lead taste. I don't know what they were allowed to give us when we were like in school at that time, but I remember it had like I know what lead tastes like. Yeah, high school.
I know what graphite tastes like. The water in my hometown was like really, I don't know if this is the right word, but it was really calciumy. Like it was kind of like a little opaque, and it tasted like what I think bones would taste like if they were like a powder.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I've been informed by the ghost hostess. I've just gotten a note that pregnant women were warned in our town
Oh,
not to drink it. So
I see.
that's weird that it only
Basic.
affects them and it's good for everyone else, and we all drank it. All school
That
kids.
sets up the world we're about to live in very well. This is like we live in the Hunger Games.
That's
The
true. We
water we're
do.
talking about here. Yes.
I was in District
May the
11,
odds
the Bay Area.
forever be in your favor.
I actually really like the Hunger Games. You said you hadn't read them. You saw
Oh
the
yeah, me
movie?
too. I saw the movies only, but I really enjoyed them. Love the cast. Really good casting in the film.
It's true. Yes. Yeah, the
Good
cast is
casting.
pretty
Yeah,
good. Real
casting's really
bummer that we
strong.
lost out on Philip Seymour Hoffman halfway through.
Yeah.
Um, God, what a fucking amazing actor. I miss that guy. But yeah, no, I like the Hunger Games. I've always liked the character of Katniss. I think she's interesting. I really like that first book. So if you haven't read it, actually, like a cool thing about the first book is how much it focuses on like Katniss's survival during the game, And so like there's
Yeah.
like a lot of actual like survival techniques, and she's like keeping track of how hydrated she is by like what color her urine is and stuff like that. There's lots of things you wouldn't think about as like being something necessary to survive, or at least I didn't when I read it. Like I was like, I don't know, like 14 or something. So like that stuff was really cool and like real pulse pounding. Um, yeah, I like the Hunger Games. I also like Divergent. No, I don't. That was not
Oh, I didn't
true.
get.
What I just said. That was
Oh, okay.
lying.
You
Is
could have
that
fooled me.
Shailene
I had no
Woodley?
idea anything about that. Uh, I think so. I think you got the right one. Is that where they have the maze, or is that a different thing?
That's the Maze Runner.
Oh, that is the Maze Runner. Okay.
That's right.
On the nose.
I remember they had another movie come out like a couple years ago that was called The Maze Runner: The Death Cure, which was such a funny
Ooh.
title. I was thinking about it the whole like drive home. I was like, The Death Cure, like any. Like if I got eaten by a shark, you could give me that and I'd be fine. Like like if I got my head cut off, you just dab some, put the head back on. Like if I'm immolated in a fire, you just put it on the ashes. Like that would be pretty like convenient. It would be bad for population though. There'd be too many people. Um, What's wrong? It's the death cure. You're gonna cure death. It's a problem. All these people who love going to heaven so much when they die don't get to go no more. They just get to stay here in hell on earth. Um, but I thought that was funny. That whole YA takeover happened when I was in high school, and I read some of them. I watched most of the movies that were coming out, and nothing super remarkable, honestly. My favorite one was probably The Hunger Games. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, the OG.
Did you say the original Hunger Games? Yeah, OG. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
very
right. OG Katniss Everdeen.
Good stuff.
It has Josh Hutcherson in it, and I was like, oh, that kid from Bridge to Terabithia, that movie that tricks you. I'm glad he's getting work.
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I
dude,
haven't
the
seen it.
Bridge to Terabithia.
Oh.
So let me
Yeah.
it was a book first, I think, and then a movie, and it's kind of like a Spiderwick Chronicles looking thing. Yeah, I think is that Freddie Highmore? Is that Asa Butterfield who's in that? Either way, so it's like Josh Hutcherson and this girl who's his friend. Like the trailer makes it look like they find like this magic land. All you have to do is cross this bridge, but it turns out that's a metaphor, and it's actually about Josh Hutcherson's little friend dying. They're crossing the bridge. Sorry, spoilers for Bridge to Terabithia. All of the adults listening, and so they like have to swing on like a rope to like cross the river or whatever to get to their little island.
Right.
And so like the posters like Josh Hutcherson and this girl, and they're like standing like this, looking like they're doing a cool pose, and there's like this beautiful tree and like this beautiful river, and it looks like a magic land. But no, that was all in their heads. And so she dies. She's like falls off the rope and hits her head and dies, and it's like kind of he feels like it's like maybe his fault a little bit. And that's what the movie's about. There's ain't no Narnia, no Dumbledore.
No
It's just
Aslan,
about-
no Dumbledore,
just
no
about-
Gollum. And
It's just about
does
how we
Andy
deal with
Serkis at
love.
least get on a bodysuit to do one character in this? Is Andy Serkis involved in the motion capture?
He plays a
what I need to
motion
know.
capture, completely fully CGI performance character. He's a doctor who tells Josh Hutcherson his friend is dead. Yeah, no, that one's pretty funny.
That would be a really funny documentary, just Andy Serkis doing completely unnecessary characters, like people that are already like, yeah, like you said, like just like a secondary character who just delivers plot information, like you have cancer, and it just shows Andy Serkis on a motion capture stage, like to get into the character, he watched other doctors perform.
And like they show that footage, like they show footage of him like in like the ping pong ball suit, and he's like on all fours getting into character. He's got like those like those like stilt things that like joggers use, or people who have prosthetics. He's like wearing those. He's like 10 feet taller than the rest of the cast. He's got one of
Andy,
those. Like,
remember, he's not a Homo sapien. He's not in any way an ape. He's just a doctor. You can let go of the stilts.
So, but he's a doctor like the way Smaug's a doctor, right? And they're like, no, that's
No.
no. He's got like that big rod sticking out of the back of his head with a ball up here, so that way
Yes, yeah.
the characters know where his head is. Have you seen any of the footage of like Josh Brolin behind the scenes for like Infinity War, where he's wearing this
Yeah, yeah.
massive Thanos like
Mhm.
chest piece? It looks like it must weigh 40 pounds. I was like, you just put a little ping pong ball. What are you doing? Wait, okay,
I
so
love it.
last little aside before we get started. I had a
Okay.
friend who knew or met at least Jonathan Lipnicki as a kid, the kid from Stuart Little and the Littlest Vampire.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
And
Yeah.
my friend asked, he was like, "So what's it like meeting Stuart Little?" Because they were like little kids. And Jonathan Lipnicki was like, "He's a green piece of tape." He's like a green piece of tape on a shelf or a table.
It sounds like he has resentment in his voice when he says that. Like he was
Yeah, like
mad
he
too.
missed
Like
out.
he was expecting Stuart Little to show up on set. It's like it's just a green little piece of tape, kid. It never
That's
was
funny.
Stuart Little. He was never real.
That's kind of like the plot of Stuart Little. Imagine your parents adopt
Oh.
a baby brother, and it's a green piece of tape instead of a human boy. Except for Stuart Little, it's a mouse. I went to New York, and the coolest thing I got to do was I saw the lake in Central Park where they filmed Stuart Little's big climax. And I told my dad, I was like, "Dad, this is where they." I was like 16. I was like, "Dad, this is where they filmed the end of Stuart Little," and he was like, "Which one was that?" I'm like, you don't get it. So that's a little story.
Cinematic
But,
history, Dad. Cinematic history.
I got to see the lake, and I got to see the fountain where they filmed Godspell. But most people know it as the Friends fountain. I don't, because Friends is bad. But anyway, let's get into our story a little bit tonight. So if you're listening, if we have any viewers tonight, I know it's a little late. We're going to play a little game tonight since we are doing the Hunger Games. We've got a whole bunch of characters you're about to meet. It's not a very long story. I want to preface that. Tonight's going to be a little bit shorter, so we wanted to make things a little more fun, more interactive. Let us know in the chat who you think would win this Hunger Games in particular as we read along. So everybody just kind of settle on in, grab a beer or a Fiji water, and everybody just chill out. Let's get started here. All right, so Michael, our fic tonight is titled. Hold on. There's an ad I have to skip in my book. One second.
I hate ads in books. This is the downfall of books as soon as ads started coming in.
It's true. The minute Mad Magazine started putting in ads and taking out the thing at the back where you fold it to make a dumb face.
Right.
That was when society ended.
Fold-outs.
But anyway.
R.I.P.
Okay. A champion amongst men, a god amongst mortals. Written by A Little Summer Wind. Underscores in between each word. All lowercase. Chapter 1. The only one. The cornucopia. The air in the arena hung heavy with silence. The sun shone bright, glinting off the shiny metal siding of the cornucopia, which stood looming in the center. In a large circle around the cornucopia stood 24 tributes, 24 boys and girls, terrified of what was before them. Shrek looked intently at the cornucopia, filled with weapons, food, everything he would need to survive this ordeal. He had the luck of being situated directly in front of the entrance, and he intended to use this advantage wisely. Beside him stood Fiona, his fellow tribute from District 1. Shrek felt her eyes burning into him, but she clearly had never met an ogre before. He didn't mind. It didn't matter. It was nothing compared to what was to come. Fiona turned to her left, looking at the tribute next to her. The boy from District 2 she had heard was named Fry. His hair was an unusually bright shade of orange that she couldn't help but notice. Fiona looked on to the girl to Fry's left, the other District 2 tribute, a girl with bright purple hair pulled back into a tight ponytail. Her single eye glared in Fiona's direction. Her name was Leela, if she remembered correctly. To Leela's other side stood the tributes from District 3. A boy with a kind face, jet black hair, and unusually yellow skin, and a girl with short brown hair and a round face pinched in concentration. Barry and Vanessa, their names were, apparently. Next were the tributes from District 4, a boy named Gibby and a girl named Carly. They couldn't have been more than 13, some of the youngest tributes in the arena. The boy was unusually pudgy, and the girl was lanky and far too skinny for her height. They were visibly nervous. The boy's gray eyes shifted around the arena, and the girl anxiously pulled on her long black hair. After seeing them perform understandably poorly at training, the other tributes knew they weren't a threat. They probably wouldn't even last the night. The District 5 tributes were also visibly nervous, not from weakness, but from self-consciousness. The boy, a human-sized yellow sponge, and the girl, and the girl, a human-sized squirrel, had drawn a great deal of attention at training. The other tributes knew they weren't threats either. They had proven themselves weak at best, genuinely stupid at worst. Now, me and the Ghost Hostess had a problem with this because
Yes.
Sandy is good at karate and she's a scientist. She's smart.
Right. That's
Yeah.
true. That's canon.
Sandy's got, and they're human sized in this story, so she has literally no disadvantage going into this.
We're gonna have
SpongeBob.
to consult the SpongeBob manga for this one.
Me and Ghost Hostess were talking. How would you kill SpongeBob? Can you? I
Mhm.
think if you like let him dry out and then burnt him, I think that would do it. But other than that, I can't really see a way to murder SpongeBob.
Yeah, because I put my sponges in the microwave and that actually makes them smell better. So you
Really?
couldn't put them under radiation. Yeah, that's a true DIY hack. You put the sponge in the microwave for like a couple minutes or something, and then they come out smelling good. If they ever have that old water smell, like when you walk by the frozen area on your way into work from Turtle Talk, remember that old water smell? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
If it ever smells like that, put it in the microwave.
There were two water smells at Disneyland, and it was either Pirates of the Caribbean smell, where you're like gasoline. I think this is bad for me, but I like the smell. And then there was bad water smell, and that was every other kind of water. You're taking me back.
Hence the Olaf cough. But that's another day.
I don't know if we could talk about that. But
I got the hack.
Okay, so
That's right.
that's right. A hacking cough. Next was the District 6 tributes. Harry and Hermione, another young pair. The boy and the girl looked shockingly alike, enough to have been siblings. Both brown hair and knobby-kneed with thin, pale faces made almost ghostly by fear. By the looks of it, they were the youngest in the arena by far. Because this is like book one, Harry. This is like an 11-year-old boy about to die. Which, to be fair to
Right,
Harry
right.
Potter, is a situation he finds himself in a lot as an 11-year-old. I gotta say, this person's underestimating Harry and Hermione. I wouldn't fuck with those guys.
Yeah.
Harry
Maybe
Potter
they're
would kick my
misdirecting. Maybe
ass.
they're intentionally misleading us this direction.
That's the thing about Harry. You take his wand away. I don't know if you've read the books, Michael, but you take his wand away and he just starts punching. He'll grab anything that's near him. He'll drag his nails over your face. Like, this kid does not fight fair. It's pretty funny.
I did not know that. I watched the movies a lot, but I wasn't
Mhm.
familiar with Harry's tantrums in the
They're-
book over this.
I wouldn't quite call them tantrums. They're usually someone making fun of his dead parents is what gets him going.
Oh,
Which
Get
I think,
over
you know,
it,
like,
loser.
you should beat people up, but like I get it. And, there's one point when in the third book when he meets Sirius Black, and spoilers, he still thinks he's a bad guy. Harry literally just starts kicking him on the. He punches him until he's on the ground. He's 13, and he just starts kicking him. And then Ron and Hermione start kicking him too. And that really happens.
There needs to be like one person to prevent that. You can't just have 3 people stomping face on Sirius Black. I guess that's why they didn't include that in the movie.
It's pretty unfair. It's also funny because Ron's leg's broken, but he wants a piece. Like they beat the shit out of this adult man. I wouldn't fuck with them.
No.
Crab and Goyle fucked with them, and one of them's dead now, and the other's in jail for possession. Let me see. It had been said somewhere that the tributes from District 7 were both 16, but it didn't look like it. The boy Jeremy was rather frail, with large Coke bottle glasses that magnified his already large blue eyes to an unsettling proportion. The girl Christine seemed too small to survive more than a couple days, but her eyes burned with a furious determination that suggested she had more of a chance of winning than the game makers had predicted. I don't know what those
District
ones are.
7 is lumber.
Are you looking it up?
No, that's
Like
what
what
Ghost
district is
just
for?
said.
Oh, I didn't see it in the chat.
I'm trusting Ghost Hostess on this one. I don't know.
What's
myself.
District 8? Ghost Hostess.
We're getting the official right now.
That's right. What is it?
We have a team of scientists looking this
District 8 is textile and 9 is grain.
up.
Good to know. Let's see, because we just got to District 9. None of the other tributes were too familiar with the tributes from District 9. The gloomy, dark-haired youths preferred to keep to themselves, sitting in a corner of the training center and talking only to each other. One time a District 1 tribute had tried to approach them. Veronica turned away suddenly, while JD simply spat in his face. No one dared speak to them since. I also don't know who those are. Let's see. District
So 10 is livestock and 9 is agriculture, just to keep you updated.
10's livestock?
Yes.
Oh, I skipped one. I'm sorry. District 8. The 2 boys from District 8 had drawn their own attention. Dean, the half-blind boy picked so cruelly to face his untimely, unjust demise, and Castiel, his selfless, lifelong best friend, who sacrificed himself as a tribute so that his own life may go down instead. The televised affair had garnered them sympathy from everywhere in Panem, and the sponsors were already lining up to offer their aid. That's Supernatural, Michael.
Okay.
That's that sexy show that ran for, I think, my whole lifetime so far.
Can't say I've seen it.
I saw one episode, and it was like the cold open of the show. I think they solved like supernatural mysteries. And like spiders started coming out of a shower drain, and it turned it off. Not for me. Don't like spiders. Don't like 8-legged freaks. I don't like arachnophobia. Having it or watching the movie
Spider-Man.
Oh, turn off the dark. I don't want to watch that. No, I love Spider-Man. He's great. He doesn't look anything like a spider. He just looks like a nice young man.
Yeah, you're right.
The District 10 tributes had terrified all the others from the beginning. And this is livestock? Yeah. Thanos, the boy, or so they said, was heavily built and upwards of 8 feet tall, with purple skin and a heavily pronounced chin and forehead that gave him an even more powerful aura. The girl, Natasha, with her fiery red hair and piercing black eyes that scanned the arena in disdain, had also struck intimidation into the hearts of her competitors. So Thanos and Black Widow are here with SpongeBob and Sandy. Gonna say I'm kind of leaning towards Thanos right now in the winning department. He seems unbeatable.
I put up a helpful map here to go along with just so you can keep the districts aligned with which color in the United States they are, just in case that's interesting to anyone out there.
I'm taking a look. It's nice.
Geographical accuracy.
Take a look. It's in a book. All right. I forgot it's just continent
all
of the
right.
United States. All right, all left. Oh, fuck, I fucked it up. Let's see.
Damn it.
As for I think you and I talked about that when we worked at Turtle Talk, where we were like, do you think McConaughey was in his workshop late one night when he's like sitting in front of a whiteboard and he's going, all left. No,
that's not it.
That's not. He
No!
knocks everything off the table. He looks at like another whiteboard, and it says the Ford lawyer, and he's like, no.
The capital is Purple, Ohio.
The capital's in Ohio.
It's Ohio.
Wow, keep dreaming, Ohio. So. Anyway.
Cleveland rocks.
Bears rock. As for the District 11 tributes, what to say about them? They were eye-catching enough. The girl, Audie, and her fiery orange hair and wolf-like smile. And the boy, Raymond. I don't know who these people are. I'm going to move on. While the District 11 tributes had caused confusion among the other tributes, the District 12 tributes had elicited pure fear. Everything about them excluded a malicious, chaotic energy. Their brightly colored hair, their ripped clothes, the garish makeup which they refused to take off even during training. The girl had said her name was Harley Quinn, and the boy had insisted he be referred to only as the Joker. What does Jared Leto do? He's like,
so you're doing Jared Leto Joker. I just want to make sure.
It's gonna get you hurt. It is the Jared Leto Joker from the Justice League trailer that came out yesterday.
Okay, all right.
Society. Sure. Yeah, no, they couldn't get Joaquin. They couldn't get Joaquin for this. Let's see. The Joker. While the game makers were hesitant to use such ridiculous names, even they were terrified of the pair, and they obliged. Well, that sucks. You're like scary enough that they'll change your name for the Hunger Games, but not scary enough to get out of it. They're like, they're not that scared of you. And so were the 12 sets of tributes, the 20, they're all kids too, the 24 youths situated around the arena, standing in anticipation for the countdown to end and the worst time of their lives to start. 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that was Stanley Tucci, by the way. It had seemed that time in the arena had slowed to a standstill. No fear. No nauseating dread. Only the calm robotic voice counting down to infinity. But then it came. That 0. It all happened so quickly. Everything at once, seemingly in an instant. The sickening crunch of iCarly's broken nose as Fiona tore away with a basket of bread. The blinding explosion, scattered tufts of silver hair glistening in the midst of the flames. The thud of dozens of other footsteps fleeing into the surrounding forests. The games had begun. Author's note, I'm so sorry. And that is the end of the fic currently. So this was published in 2014 with the coda at the top of, let's see, next chapter coming soon. So I don't think we'll get another chapter of this Hunger Games story, but I really like the setup. So Michael, I have to ask, who do you think would win?
I'm still pulling for Shrek.
Shrek has a good chance. Shrek, me and the Ghost Host just talked about this. Shrek is a top 3.
Yeah, I'd like to see some interesting alliances form too. I can already kind of see it. Maybe Joker and Shrek. Jared Leto, Joker and Shrek.
Team Green.
Yeah, that was about to say the green common element.
There's so many good team names. Team Green, the Green Team, Green Scream, because there's the Joker and Shrek.
Suicide Swamp.
Suicide Swamp, that's great. Fuck, that's awesome. So that's it, huh? We're some kind of suicide swamp. Remember,
Donkey is
we're
Deadshot.
we're the bad guys. No, I think Donkey would be like Captain Boomerang.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who's Shrek. Is he Rick Flag? Is he Joel Kinnaman's character?
I don't know. Maybe
Like I've
the
seen
Shrek.
Suicide
Shrek would
Squad.
be the Joker in that universe.
Shrek would be the Joker. He's
Yeah. The pimped out Joker. Actually, maybe in the Shrek universe mirroring Suicide Squad, I think the Gingerbread Man is actually the Joker. I just
the
see that more
Gingerbread Man.
clearly. Yeah, the Gingerbread Man.
And he gets burnt
I
up
can't
after
explain
his
it.
helicopter crashes. He's like, not my gumdrop buttons. God, I fucking hate him.
Exactly.
It's great when you remember Jared Leto sent like a used condom to one of his coworkers because he was acting like
Oh,
he was
it was supposed to be
so
him
in
in
character.
Method, yeah. Right.
Do you remember a Batman story where Batman receives in the mail from the Joker a used condom? I just don't think it's something Joker
I think they
done.
actually, yeah, the Batman the Animated Series. I think the second episode, Mark Hamill voices a character that does that. No, I don't. That's horrible. What a weird.
I'm not the Joker.
Excuse to me.
I'm the Jacker.
Seems like just an excuse to just do the weirdest things you've always wanted to do, and just say it's method.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's not cool. You don't have like a guy at like your job who like gets promoted to middle management, and then he sends you a butt plug, and he's like, "I was getting into character for being a manager." Like, that's not cool. You can't do that. Fucking hate that.
So Ghost Host just was saying that the capital is Salt Lake City.
Oh,
that's true.
Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, that makes way more sense.
I got the map enlarged on the stream there. It's right next to you. Yeah, I think that's right.
Oh yeah, that's where Matthew Lillard lives.
Mm.
No, that's not true. He just made a good movie about it. Have you ever seen SLC Punk?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I fucking love that movie. He's great in it. Yeah, so I'm pulling pretty hard.
Matthew Lillard's great.
I got my top three. I'm gonna say, Harry, Thanos, and Shrek. Maybe Hermione instead of Harry. Harry's got better reaction times. Hermione knows more spells, but Harry's like, don't count him out. Also, he's died and come back twice, so like, he's odds pretty good in his favor. Thanos, I don't think anyone could hurt physically whatsoever with the tools presented to them. I guess we would have to assume for things to be equal that Thanos like is weak to these knives or arrows or whatever. So I think Thanos
reminds me of Superman in the way that it's like he's just a writer's dream come true. He just like does anything, everything. There's no conflict that you can arise. And even when like he wins, at that point I've been beaten up by him just overcoming everything. That it's like I don't even know if I really believe he dies. I think they just wanted, like in the real story that plays out in my head. Fuck Thanos. That sucks. Yeah.
I thought the movie did a good job of like, because he's kind of the main character of Infinity War, of like giving him kind of some like pathos and like giving him like a reason, and like he like really believes what he's doing, so that makes him a little more interesting. I mean, it was a bad plan, bad idea, but like he was just a fucking asshole who wanted to prove himself right. In the comics, Thanos is a little more like that, where he literally at the end of the Infinity Gauntlet comics, they can't beat him. Avengers lose, and Thanos is beaten by his own self because he allows himself to be defeated because subconsciously Thanos doesn't like knows he's not worthy of all that power, which is like kind of
that's really good story writing,
and philosophical. It's also kind of dumb. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's kind of like how books and comics kind of win over cinema. Is like cinema, you have to be authentic and real. Like in a comic book or in a movie, like you can kind of put something flowery or something down that just like oh, that works as like a quote for me, like with like a beautiful background behind it. But does it check out as like reality? Like you
Mm-hmm.
can't do that in cinema.
Yeah.
Not not with hardcore fans watching and just being like, no, no, we're gonna catch you on that. But like in the comic book, it's like, oh, okay, I like that. That wraps around.
With that
I won't
whole
question it.
that whole corner of like Marvel, the whole space stuff from that era, I think that's the
Mm,
'80s, maybe the '70s. I don't know the era super well, but that was all Jim Starlin was
no, me
writing
neither.
all that, and he like really loved the character of Thanos. I don't remember if he created him. I think he did. And he wrote like all this cosmic stuff for Marvel, and it was always really, really like philosophical, very contemplative, very like a tone of like solitude to it. Also, it's very interesting. I actually really liked reading those. Um, like Silver Surfer is a lot like that too. Where Silver Surfer, when he's flying on his board through space, he's just thinking about stuff, man. He's just flying through the air, like, oh, prisons are slavery with a different name. Like that's just what he's doing. He's just flying through the universe, thinking about stuff. Um, like that's what those comics are like. He's just like thinking, and he's like, oh, if how do I? He's flying through space, going, what if what I see is red is what someone else sees as blue, and there's no way I'd ever know unless we were to somehow change brains. That's just what he's thinking about. Okay, so my top three, I got Harry slash Hermione. I'm gonna call it a draw there. Thanos and Shrek. Oh, and my reasoning for Shrek is that Shrek's great. Everybody likes him. He's very physically strong. And I think he's physically the fastest person there. So he's got the best chance of getting good shit from the cornucopia. Um, they said that Fiona had never seen an ogre before, so I'm assuming in this continuity, Fiona's not an ogre; she's just a person. So that's kind of like a
Okay,
disadvantage,
right.
just like
Okay.
physically. I mean, Fiona can fight, but she only has like the strength of an average human, and Shrek is like
Yeah.
fucking 4 feet thick in each direction,
Yeah.
as we read. Um, those are my picks. I don't know about the Supernatural crew. One of them just died in the show when
I
it
don't
ended, so probably not that guy.
I don't know enough about the supernatural to say I would go with any of them, but I do like the idea of Harry for sure. Just because in rewatching the Harry Potters now, I feel like literally the odds are completely against Harry in every way, always. And in Shrek, I feel like you kind of know he's gonna win. I don't know, in moments in Harry, he's really screwed over. So I don't know. That's
well,
my
and
new
her,
vote. I was going with Shrek, but now I'm going with Harry.
well,
I
okay, so
changed.
like I've got Harry and Hermione in there because I don't know if they have wands. They didn't mention. Probably not. They might be able to pick them up from the cornucopia. Um, Thanos, you can fight Thanos with magic. Like you can bypass how physically strong he is. So I think there's a chance there for Harry or Hermione to take him out. Um, he's got the reaction times. If like you walk into a room with a gun that Harry Potter's in, he's already ducking as you open the door. Like that's this fucking kid. He's always looking around for danger. Hermione's got the versatility, so I kind of like maybe I'll put them in as like ice climbers, like in Smash Brothers. They're like one team, one person. And then so like Harry's got a good chance. Um, Anybody else? Let's see. Black Widow, she could fight. That's good. Assuming that she could use her weapons like well enough to take out like a Thanos. She's got a pretty good chance. Um, iCarly, no chance at all. She'd be dead. Let's see. Gibby, he's like I'm gonna say like a mid tier finish. He's got stoutness, he's got courage, and he's got a will that never quits. Gibby, you want Gibby on your side. I don't know if you ever watched iCarly. You were probably a little too old for it, but my sister used to
I
watch
see.
it
I
all the
wonder if
time.
iCarly is supposed to be like the characters that like hack into the system and like, you know,
Ooh.
uh,
Oh,
get the
well,
wire system and
they
like,
could be, but not neither of those characters is good with computers. There is a
oh, take
character
it.
who is, but this Gibby kid, the iCarly gang gets kidnapped, and he beats the shit out of the person who kidnapped them. He picks her up and throws her against a wall at one point. He also slams her down onto like a long table with stuff on it, and he slides her from one end to the other with her face hitting all the glass and stuff. So Gibby, like, he's got like that hidden reserve of strength. Um,
Right. I see.
so Gibby definitely not a winner, but when Gibby went out, you'd feel it. That'd be one of those like
Yeah.
we're watching the Hunger Games from the safety and comfort of our house in District 2, and we're like, oh, it's
We
really
were rooting for Gibby.
I was pulling. Yeah, I
Yeah, we're
like take
pulling
off
for
my
Gibby.
Gibby hat. It's like when Bernie lost the primary. You're just like, ah,
Yeah.
fuck, put our fucking flags back. Um,
What's the point now? Yeah.
exactly. But I think Shrek's a crowd pleaser, which makes a difference. Remember, they like make it easier for you and send you more shit if they like you. Nobody's gonna like Thanos. He's gonna be the villain of the thing. He's the heel of that season of Hunger Games. That's what I think, at least. I don't think anybody's
Absolutely.
sending
Yeah.
Thanos any medicine.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's gonna fight with you on that.
Good. I feel
That's a
very
solid
confident
statement.
about it. So, are we voting Harry Potter and Hermione win the Hunger Games?
No, you know what? I'm gonna say that they're the ones who look like they're gonna win it the whole time, but then the misdirection is probably the ones you think that are gonna win the least. So maybe
Hmm.
iCarly is gonna
iCarly
really
wins.
win. Yeah, iCarly wins.
Carly learns how to
You
use a
don't see
gun.
it coming. Yeah, the whole
Yeah,
time.
Thanos is like, and now I. And then, like,
And then
Carly's
iCarly has
standing
the
behind.
Infinity Gauntlet on.
It's
I
like,
decide what reality is now.
Shrek, you have my respect. I hope they remember
What
you,
if
SpongeBob.
Thanos
Why,
is
SpongeBob?
I forget the name of the character, his daughter, the green character.
Gamora?
Yeah. What if Gamora is like a love child of like when Thanos cheats on or Fiona cheats on Shrek with Thanos? That should be a there we go. There's a fan fiction right there. It already writes itself. It's beautiful.
I gotta say, Michael, this is Fiona character assassination.
You know,
She's a
for fan
faithful
fiction,
woman.
I don't think character assassination exists in fan fiction.
Well, that's funny. That's like a fan fiction trope. Is people will write fan fictions about characters that they don't like, and they'll make like terrible things happen to them, or
Oh,
they'll
give
act
you
like
more reason to hate them.
assholes. Yeah, it's a big thing. I grew up reading like a lot of Harry Potter fan fiction. It's a real big thing to do to Ron. They'll make Ron evil. They'll make Ron like an abusive boyfriend. Ron will join. Ron will join the Death Eaters. Ron won't pay child support. Um, Ron thinks that house elves
In the
are
cinematic
good.
universe, I don't know if there's a lot of moments that I really like Ron in the cinematic universe.
Ron's a tough
I
character.
don't know.
He has a lot of
And you don't feel like
problems.
him and Hermione have chemistry until they start forcing it on them. I
That's
don't know.
true. Yeah, I
They
mean,
don't write
like,
it in very well.
no, I mean, I agree with that.
Not
But I mean, like, Ron's an interesting character. Sometimes he can be like kind of a shithead, very boorish. But he's still like a good friend to Harry. He tries his hardest. Um,
yeah.
it's also funny
But
that
then he's
he's
like
like,
Mickey Mouse to me. Like everybody
yeah,
wants you to like Mickey Mouse because it's just like Mickey Mouse is a good guy. He's your pal. Everyone
mm,
likes Mickey Mouse, but no one questions why the fuck do we like Mickey Mouse? What does Mickey Mouse do? He doesn't do
yeah, it's
anything. He has no character traits that make us be like, Mickey, yeah, he's silly or he always messes things up, but he means well or he's really
well, like,
loud or no, he just
in when like the Disney cartoon started, like Mickey had like a personality. He was kind of mischievous. He's kind of like a every guy or whatever. He's like always trying to get out of work. It's like a recurring theme. Um, but by the time you hit like the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, they start making Mickey like he wears like a sweater vest and he's got just like normal slacks on and he like owns a house He's usually golfing.
Walt was like just projecting. I was just thinking of Mickey not working. Walt was just like projecting all of his like hatreds on like youth and like the races he doesn't like, and he's just like, yeah, Mickey's just one of those that doesn't work. He just doesn't work. He doesn't work hard.
I like that. I think Walt likes Mickey. I think that was true. He couldn't
Okay.
draw him, but that was Iwerks' job. But I think he likes Mickey. But Mickey like went from having a character to just straight up being like a cipher. He's more of a brand than a character. So he kind of like failed where I think a character like Kermit succeeded. Where like Mickey kind of exists just to be like the MC. He's like the host. He's welcoming you in,
Yeah.
saying, "Come on in." Whereas Kermit is both the host and a character. And like that always worked about the
Yeah.
character. And I like you like Kermit more because you feel more empathy for the guy.
Yeah, you absolutely relate to Kermit. He has character traits. Yeah, good comparison there.
Oh yeah, well Kermit and Mickey, you know, I kind of feel like they're of the same like idea for a type of character. Um, they're kind of trying to give Mickey character again. Have you watched any of those new Disney shorts, like the ones that are all flash animated? They've got like that really flat, stylized look. They're actually pretty good.
No.
I was surprised. They're pretty funny.
Yeah.
I thought the look was horrible. I thought I was gonna hate it. But they were playing one backstage when I was working once, at the cafe, and I was watching it, and I was just like, "Hey, this is like kind of funny." And then me and the ghost hostess sat down and watched a few, and we were like, "This is like pretty funny." Like they're actually doing weird shit, which is nice. It's not like it's not like House of Mouse where it's just like bad, and I didn't know what bad was yet. I do like the House of Mouse. I'm very fond of it. Watched that a lot as a kid. I liked the Quack Pack. You know, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. They're a boy band now. I like that. Like Gaston would be eating there, and he'd like shoot his gun at the ceiling or something. Or like Maleficent would be there, and she would like return her food. She's like, "Oh, it's overcooked. I'm a villain." I always like that. But that's pretty much our story for the night here, Michael. Talked a little bit about the Hunger Games. I gotta say, definitively, I think Shrek's taking this. I think everybody likes Shrek. At this point, Shrek like hasn't made friends because he's not friends with Fiona. Donkey's not here, so I think Shrek is the one to beat. He's got nothing holding him back.
Yeah. On a final thought, I'm not going to argue with you that I think he's going to go far, but I think that for just the sake of good storytelling, I need an underdog to win. I'm really pushing for iCarly, and I hope she finds a way to hack into the system.
Me too. You know what, man? Here's to all the iCarlys out there in the world. May they never have to work for Dan Schneider ever again.
Cheers to that.
That was a joke about film. Well, that's our story for tonight. Thank you for joining us for another Popcorn Readings. We'll be back again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel, 10 o'clock p.m. on Monday, Pacific Standard Time. Michael, did you have anything you want to say before we hit the road?
May the odds forever be in your favor.